Hi, welcome to the channel. My name is Tiffany and I am the maker behind the Just One More Stitch Knitting podcast. And in today's episode, we are going to talk about the Camisole No.4 by My Favorite Things Knitwear. I am actually wearing it today. It's not often that I actually wear my garments in my video, but I love this. So yeah, let's get into the video. Okay, so if you have not seen my last video, I'll stick it somewhere up here. It is my pattern review for the Maker Tip Top Tank, and the reason behind that video was I decided I wanted to make some shirts for the summertime, and I wanted to do a review of the yarn and the pattern that I used for every single one. So that was the first one. Camisole No.4 is the second one, and I got my pattern off of, if you see me looking down here, it's because I have notes. I got my pattern off of Ravelry. Actually, if you go to the My Favorite Things Knitwear page inside Ravelry, if you want to actually buy the pattern, it takes you to their site. I have Camisole No.4 and Camisole No.6. No.6 I have not made yet. It is listed as an advanced beginner to an intermediate pattern. I personally think that it's more of a beginner to advanced beginner pattern, probably more like around the advanced beginner pattern would be my opinion. It was really well written, extremely detailed. There aren't any pictures in the pattern, but the way that they take the time to actually explain to you, this is how many stitches that you have to have, this is where you need to do your increases. The only thing that I didn't enjoy was the fact that they didn't actually break out every single row. They would say knit row number 1, knit row number 2, knit row number 3, knit row number 4. When you got to row number 5, instead of it telling you what you needed to do for number 5, it would tell you to repeat row number 3. The same thing happened further down in the pattern as well, where every single time you were doing something, it was either repeat row number 3 or repeat number 8 or repeat number 5 or repeat number 8. So you kind of found yourself having to bounce up and down. That part of the pattern I didn't enjoy. I would have rather that they had just taken the time to copy and paste whatever was in row number 3 and put it in there for line number 5, for example, and just told you what you needed to do. The pattern calls for the project to be knit from the top down. Let me see. I knit the size 4. It uses size 4 knitting needles, which is a 3.5 millimeter. I used just in the round for the body. I didn't do magic loop or DPNs. I just used a cable that was long enough, and then I just used DPNs to do the body, the upper body part, like when you have to do the four different triangles. And I used DPNs for the I-cord. I used the recommended yarn, which I kind of was on the fence about because it was pricey. The pattern recommends the knitting for olive in the pure silk, and I chose the colorway Dusty Artichoke because that is what is on the cover of the main pattern, and I really liked it. And well, you can't tell that it's the same this way, but it's the same. Anyway, I really liked the color in the picture, so I wanted to try it, and when it came, it's actually a little bit lighter than what I expected, based off of the yarn company's website and based off of the pictures that I saw on the pattern. It's kind of rustic feeling. If you're expecting, because it's got the word silk in it, for it to be soft and silky, you're gonna be surprised. It has like a rustic feel to it. It's not like hard, like rough, but it's not super kid silk soft like you would think that it was going to be. But I will tell you, when you block the yarn after you finish your top and you block it, it becomes so soft and has like the most amazing drape. As soon as I took mine off the blocking boards, I was like, I love this thing and I need to knit so many more of them. Here, I guess let me show you guys what it looks like on me. It is not bra friendly. So keep that in mind if you are looking for a pattern that is bra friendly. This one is not, Obviously, if you wore a strapless bra, then you would be good, but if you're somebody that this bothers you, then this one's not the one for you. It is good for the back though, just not the sides. So this is what it looks like. I knit mine, the only modification that I made was that I made my body 2 inches longer because the camisole is sort of cropped. The pattern doesn't tell you that it is. In fact, on the model, it looks like it might be long enough to be tucked in. I had to make mine 2 inches longer, and as you can see, like, there's my button. It's not like I have a lot of tucking in room. But the stitches are really, really cool, what they chose to create the ribbing. And then when you block it, it stretches this way, but not this way. So be careful when you block it. But yeah. And I'll see if I can scoot down and show you guys what the back looks like. That's what the back looks like. It definitely has a definitive front and a definitive back, so you can tell which is which. When you're making this top, the construction is 2 large triangles for the front, 2 small triangles for the back, and a provisional cast on right here is where you start, and then you pick up the provisional cast on to do the I-cord for the straps, and then you just connect them on the other side on the back. After you've got your 4 panels, your 4 triangles made, you join them, and then you just knit in the round until the garment is the length that you want, and then you just do a simple bind off. I chose to do the Icelandic bind off on this one. I had to think about it for a minute because I just finished another garment. Yeah, this one I did the Icelandic bind off. It didn't specify that you needed to bind off loosely or what have you, so I stayed with the same needle size. I did the Icelandic bind off. It doesn't roll. It's, you know, it's flat. It's not going anywhere. So I was really happy about that. Would I knit this garment again? Absolutely. In fact, I have already picked out the yarn that I'm going to use. I am going to use Patton's Linen, and the colorway is called Sweet Potato. And this is a more affordable option if you didn't want to spend the money, because I believe it was like, if I remember correctly, it was $12.60 for each ball of the Knitting for Olive, and I had 2 balls. And like I said, I have this much left over. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it because it's like such a small amount, but I still have it. Anyway, so this is what I'm going to try to make it with next, and I think that I will probably only need 2 skeins, but I have 3, and this was $6.97 if I remember correctly at Joann's. So you could probably make the garment for half the cost if you tried maybe the Patton's Linen versus the Knitting for Olive Pure Silk. I definitely recommend giving this a try if it's a yarn that you've never tried before. I didn't understand the fuss that everybody makes when they make their summer garments and everybody's like, oh, I made it out of Knitting for Olive, the Pure Silk, Pure Silk, Pure Silk, Pure Silk. I'm like, okay, what's the big deal? It's kind of pricey. This stuff better be fantastic. Like I said, it's not what you expect when it arrives. If you're sensitive, like to knitting with cotton, for example, you might kind of get that feeling on your hands and across your cuticles knitting with this, but again, once it blocks, it is the most amazing drapey. You would think that the garment was store-bought. The only other thing that I wanted to mention was that when you're doing the underarm of the garment, right here, when you are joining the front to the back, they tell you how to add those stitches, and for whatever reason, my brain just was not having it. And so when I did it, I just did the backward loop cast on, and I wasn't careful when I did my backward loop cast on. And if I remember, I will put a picture up here so that you can see. Mine is actually off by exactly 1 stitch, because on one side, when I picked up the backward loops, I dropped 1. You can't tell, like at a distance, but if you were up close, you can actually see that my garment is literally off by 1 stitch. I can see it. I noticed it this morning, as a matter of fact, when I was putting it on the mannequin to take some pictures. I was like, wait a minute, it's off. So yeah, take your time and be really, really careful when you're creating those cast on stitches. Make sure that you end up with the right number and that you pick up, that you cast on all of them and that you pick them all up on the other side. Aside from that, yeah, that was honestly the only thing that I had that was a challenge for me. I was gonna say I had a problem, but that's really not the right word. That was a challenge for me. Either way, bottom line, would I knit this garment again? Absolutely. The pattern was fantastic, very well written, extremely helpful, tons of examples of this garment on Ravelry because everybody has made this one. I was kind of late to the Camisole No.4 train, but I'm here now and I love it and I'm definitely making more. So with that said, I hope that this review of the pattern and of the yarn has kind of given you a little bit more insight about how it fits, how it hangs, how it's made, its cons as well as its pros, and kind of giving you an idea about what the yarn is like that they recommend in the pattern, as well as an alternative. And with that said, I will leave it there for today. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already, and please like, comment, or share this video as well because we are trying to make the channel grow. And with that, I will see you in the next video. Bye for now. Thanks for watching.